daughter who's 8. He gets extra sizes. He gets extra shoes. For projecting when she's going to grow through that growth spurt in the event that extra clothes aren't readily available.
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Anything that keep the people entertained, some games, some stuff like that. Yeah, it's
or books.
Yeah, there's lots of information out there that can be attained. Now, we're going to let you go in about 5 minutes' time. I want to cover at this point some of the stuff that's on your website. I took a look at your website, and you've got so much information. Again, folks, the website is simplesurvival.net. Tell us a little bit some of the how-to, free how-to information that you have at the site.
Oh, there's just all kinds of stuff. There's a search box at the bottom of the page. We can pretty well type in any subject dealing with survival that'll pop it up. Some of that information is in the book. A lot of stuff's in the book is not on the website. I also in the book have included survival tips, which is little things that you and I can do to help ourselves in a survival situation. For instance, you can take lint from your dryer, store it in a Ziploc bag, and use that as a fire starter by simply hitting it with a piece of flint and steel. Mm-hmm. The spark will ignite it instantly, or you can just touch a lighter to it, and I mean it flares up quickly, and you're in business. Or there's some other things in there about how to cover matches with wax and have them waterproof, if you will, so if you get submerged, you still have matches that will work.
I want to say this on matches real quick. Something I found recently when I... One thing I didn't tell you, Gary, is I helped open Portland's first survival store. If you go to portlandpreparedness.net or .com, you can find out about that. I left when I found out about their plans to price gouge and not pay me. But that aside, it was, Gary, well, here was the lesson for me, spiritually, to not hold a resentment, to let go and know that I helped Portland get prepared by opening the store and getting them a location and working for free for 5 months. And I told myself the whole time, my preparedness plan is based around helping others. It's not the stuff, even though I've got over 200 pounds of food, black beans, rice, I got all types of stuff. That's not the core of my preparedness plan. So then I realized about these supposed self-proclaimed preparedness gurus with their $75,000 bomb bunker, is that those that are not prepared to mindfully be in proper, respectful relationships, business relationships with others, are not truly prepared to deal with the world of tomorrow. But they had these stormproof matches that actually burn underwater, I found.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's
if
just all types of stuff
Alex,
out there.
you can buy just about anything.
I want to ask you this, Gary. You know, the situation in Japan has caused a lot of people to go out and buy those tablets. There's also some people that say, hey, you know what? If you're not in the blast range, you might not want to take that. Might mess up the thyroid. What's your take on these tablets?
Well, I would caution people not to ingest any medication without talking to your doctor first. There's no need for Americans to be doing that without discussing it with a competent medical authority first. It could be potentially dangerous. You know, you don't take medicines without a doctor's prescription or without at least talking to them about the side effects, especially if you're already on medication.
Mm-hmm. You definitely cause some major imbalances there.
What's that, Alex?
We could definitely cause some major imbalances there, for sure.
Well, could possibly, sure, you know, and, you know, the doctor's the one who specializes in medicine, and that's the one that question should really be addressed to. And each person that's considering or taking that medication should talk to their doctor before they do it again, because it's potentially very dangerous.
Okay, what else do you want to cover before I let you go tonight? I know we didn't hit all the categories, but what are some other basic essentials that can be found in the new book?
Well, there's some stuff in there about a little bit of everything. I mean, I'm talking about how to set up a trip plan so people know where you're going, when you're going to be back. And that really expedites the search and rescue if you get lost or an emergency occurs. If they have an idea where you're at, they know where to go to start the rescue. And then they gradually work that rescue circle out into a larger circle until they cover miles and miles. One of the biggest problems that people have in the woods is when they get lost, they don't stop. They keep wandering and meandering all over the place. and that makes it real hard to find those folks. So when you become lost in the woods or you take a wrong turn on that road, stop, think, try to realize where you are, try to picture in your mind, because it's very likely, if you're a hiker or a hunter or a camper, that you've been there before. You may be just disoriented. I've been there. I've had that happen. And always build a shelter when you find yourself in a situation like that. It gets your mind off what's going on. It allows you to kind of de-escalate, if you will, because panic hits you when you first realize that you're in a situation like this.
Okay, so if someone's preparing their grab-and-go kit, and they're playing, say, for example, locally, many people plan to go to Mount Hood. They're not anticipating, though, there might be checkpoints or other factors that might prevent people from getting into the wilderness. But that aside, I want to use an example from the movie and book Into the Wild. It's a very tragic story about a young man that went to the, I'm sure you know about the book and movie, who went to the Alaskan wilderness because he was fed up with civilization. Unfortunately, he didn't really know the terrain he was in. He got sick from eating, misidentifying a plant. And what happened was he wasn't able to get help because he didn't know where he was. In fact, he was only several miles away from civilization and some homes. So if he was more prepared, if he knew the terrain, he probably would have survived.
That's a really a sad situation. I used to live in Alaska, and you can go a half a mile from town and think you're out in the middle of nowhere. Especially in the winter when the snow's really coming down hard. There was a guy when I lived up there that went out and decided he was going to do the same thing. And they found him dead in the spring. He had killed a caribou or a moose and didn't know how to preserve the meat. So instead of making jerky or drying it, it rotted and the blowflies got it. You know. Yeah,
that was a very tragic. Did you catch the movie?
No.
Yeah, they reenacted that in the movie. It was definitely very emotional. You know, a lot of people really got down on that kid, though, you know, for even daring exit civilization. And I find that to be a little bit sad, too. I find from reading his book, for him to be, he was a very interesting young man, very philosophical, and it was very tragic that he passed on. Into the Wild is a great book. Of course, Gary Benton's book is great as well, simplesurvival.net. Gary, I'm glad you came on tonight.
I'm glad to have been there, Alex. I really enjoyed the conversation. You take care of yourself.
Thank you very much. And, of course, for those listening, we're going to allow you some time to call in, but you got to keep it short. You got to keep it brief. It's 7:23, folks. We've got 5 minutes. Make that call. 503-288-4442. That's 503-288-4444. Ready for it? YouTube.com/Alex Ansary. You can watch a show. You don't have to have a TV to watch outside the box. You go to youtube.com, Alex, Ansary, easy as 1, 2, 3, youtube.com/Alex Ansary. What I am looking for, because I love living in the world of the right brain, the creative, and the left brain, getting the news, analyzing. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like sitting in front of the computer for hours and hours and hours. Here's what would be fantastic, folks, to get AlexAnsary.com back up and online. Got the domain coming back in about a week. Looking for a webmaster. Now, seems that every single computer I touch gets hit with a virus. Could be deliberate. I have some suspicious. Nonetheless, I'm looking for a working computer. I'm looking for a working desktop. I'm looking for a webmaster, someone that knows HTML. If you would like to help, I'll tell you what, there's many resources that could help me get into town and out. But of course, the basics are technological assistance, HTML, video editing, and other items. Of course, I have big plans, big goals, big dreams to produce a whole lot of things over the course of the next year. So with that, Bill, do we have any calls?
Yes.
All right. So, hello.
Yes.
Oh, is that you? Is that still you, Gary?
Yeah, we got disconnected or something.
Oh, okay. Anything else? We're going to close the show here. Let's see. We have your website, Gary L. Benton. Are you doing any teaching down there in Mississippi for those?
No, because of insurance liability issues. But I would like to add that the book is available in all major bookstores online. They can get it at Amazon. They can get it at Books A Million, the whole work.
Fantastic. All right, Gary, I'm going to let you go, and I'm looking forward to getting your book. And, of course, we'll show some of it perhaps here on the show. Thanks for coming on.
You're very welcome, Alex. Thank you, and goodbye.
And there's many other pieces of news that have come out this week. I spent about 3 hours collecting the news before I got on the air tonight, so I was definitely shifting a lot. But don't think it takes hours and hours and hours and hours and hours or days to do research to find out this information. Frequently asked question to Alex Ansary on the street or wherever, but commonly on the street to those that really have no awareness of these things taking place. Where do you get your information? How do you blah, 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 blah? It's like being aware of the mainstream admissions that these things are taking place. It's not fear-mongering, it's simply being aware. I would say it's simply being more conscious. I want to know why some people are scared of these changes. I'll tell you what, in this closing statement, here's our closing statement of the night, okay? Why are you scared? The world needs to change. It's the beginning of our freedom from the New World Order when the grid goes down and humanity is humbled. Remember, that which made us made the sun. And that's a beautiful thing. I do want children in this lifetime, and I do believe in surviving a possible die-off, but I don't plan on being raptured. I look forward to seeing confident, strong men and women proud to be alive, smiling, and fully conscious. I dream of that. Preparing for me comes from giving back by helping others see through the darkness and into the light. Therefore, through faith in my actions and deeds, I see no doom to my fate. As for how others choose to live or perceive their reality, that, my friends, is another conversation. If you want to catch up with some of my news updates and other things that I post, go to Facebook.com, look up Alex Ansary. If you'd like to help out on the show, Bill's going to have next Sunday off for Mother's Day. By the way, my mother was born on April 27th, so she's a really lucky mom because she has her birthday and she has Mother's Day literally within weeks. So definitely not going to miss that one. Until next week, I'm Alex Ansary reminding you the path, the journey to the ultimate truth and place of power lies in one place, not the newspapers, not the comic books, not the mainstream media. It lies within your own body, within your own consciousness. Take care, stay safe. God bless you all.